come around. Take it slow, watch the smoke we blow. Bring California swinging, this thing for show. Well, hey there, baby, don't dance the go-go. Off a little mentally, I see it in slow-mo. Hollywood, the east side, Hub City, and Frisco. Guys with the flyers, fires up in the disco. Whoa, whoa, oh, now here we go.
Welcome to the Double I Show.
Incoherent idiocy. I'm Sweet T, and with me as always,
R.W.King. What's going on, T? How you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm feeling good tonight. What about you?
Yeah, man, feeling good, feeling good. Let's get this thing going, man. Let's just say hello to everybody. How about that?
Hey, let's do that. Hey, real quick, before we really start getting into this, man, I just wanted to say, we added a couple of new countries.
Well, that's who we're gonna say hello to, man.
Yeah, I know. Well, we gotta start getting into that because, man, I'm pumped about that.
Well, let's say hello to their new countries, man.
So, hello to Germany and hello to Denmark.
From German. Yeah, hey, and you get some wood shoes coming at us, or?
Oh, that'd be kind of nice. The land of Denmark.
Yeah. But
welcome aboard, guys.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Welcome to the Double I Experience.
Welcome to this crazy train.
Yeah, exactly. So, again, thanks to everybody for listening. It's just growing big again, T. Another big spike, a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, it's been a pretty eventful week for us, too. We've been planning a lot of things. You were out of town last weekend doing some research for the show, so we'll get into that a little bit later, but I'm kind of pumped about that too.
Yeah, I'm glad we called it research.
Well,
can I write it off? Do
yes,
I get reimbursed? Do I get reimbursed?
Yes, exactly. That's why we're calling it research, so stop trying to fucking ruin it.
All right, man.
So anyway, what do you got going on, man? How you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. Just hanging in here. Another beautiful day in Southern California.
That's a little cloudy, though.
Well, yeah, but that's all right, man. It was a little bit hot the last couple of days.
That's true. That's true.
So it cooled it down a little bit today. But hey, man, just excited to be here and get this thing going. We got a lot of stuff to talk about that's good. But again, we just want to say thanks to everybody out there, all these listeners, all these peeps. I want to tell you about a little something, T.
Yeah, go ahead.
When I mentioned it to you, someone's talked to the listeners out there and it's just one of those things, T. It's something that we talked about the other day, and it was I just want to share it with everybody.
Yeah, man, that was kind of awesome. So let's hear it.
Someone coming home from work the other day, and I was like, fuck, man, I just really wanted to go over again and listen to that one part of our last show when I called in from Dallas. I was in Dallas last weekend, T. And, well, you knew that.
Yeah, I knew that. What the fuck are you telling me that for, dumbass?
So I just wanted to listen to it again because I just wanted to see what we touched on so we could, go into the next show and just working on the notes for this week. So I was listening to it, and I was coming home from work. I got out the freeway, stopped at my local beverage establishment to buy a beverage before I went home, an adult beverage. And I was just sitting in the parking lot, and right in front of the door where I usually park, and had the windows down. It was a nice day. A little bit warm, so there's a little bit of breeze by where I was, and just chilling, listening to the Double I Show, bro.
Yeah.
And this guy walks in between the cars, and he sort of stops, and I'm listening, and he just bends down and sort of makes eye contact with me, man, for a couple seconds. I'm like, what the fuck's this dude's problem, right?
Yeah.
So he just stands back up and walks in the store. He's a younger cat, 25, 27 maybe. I'm not sure. Didn't really ask him. But I hope he's older. I fucking hooked him up with a compliment. But coming out of the store, man, he's just looking at me. And he comes back and he bends over and he says, hey, man. He goes, you listen to these guys too? What are you talking about, bro? This podcast. He goes, it's the Double I Show, right? And I was like, yeah. How do you know about that? Oh, my brother hooked me up on it. I've been listening to it about 4 or 5 weeks, man. These guys are fucking crazy.
No shit.
And I was like, fuck, dude, hey, just going to throw this at you, but I'm R.W.King.
And he's like, yeah, right.
Exactly. That was the first thing. You know what I mean? Then we
say.
started talking. Nobody goes, you know what, man, you are. And I'm like, yeah, man, I am. So I got out of the car, and now there's some people looking at us because he's making a big deal, and he wanted to take a selfie with me.
Yeah.
So he took a selfie.
Which is kind of weird because nobody really knows who we are.
Right. So this fucker might post this thing on his fucking whatever social media or something, and everybody knows who I am. But then he's like, hey, man, how am I going to tell everybody that this is you? I'm like, what do you mean? You tell them it's me. He goes, well, you could be any random guy. Oh, fuck. I didn't really think about that.
That's true.
He's like, bro, can you do a video for me? I'm like, what? So, yeah, man, do a video for me.
What kind of video?
Well, he wanted me to do some kind of bit like if I was in the show.
Oh, you mean like both of you guys were in the same show?
No, he was like going to record me doing something. I was a little bit uncomfortable.
Oh, okay.
You know, so
well, because you haven't had to do that before.
Not just that, dude, but there's people parking. It's a pretty busy little market, and they're just fucking checking this guy out, checking me out. Like, who's this dude?
Right.
So the guy's like, hey, you know what, man? Just do some kind of bit from the show, so at least they could hear your voice, because then they'll know it's you.
Yeah.
All right, sure, dude. But you know what? Come over on this side with me and turn that thing around like a selfie video. He's like, okay. So he came over and I sort of did the intro bit to him and passed it off to him. And his name was Tim.
Oh, nice.
So Tim, I just want to say thanks, brother, because you made my day. You made my year. You actually listened to us. I called you out a little bit, you know, today. But hey, I just want to say thanks, man, because that sort of made us. You know, when I told T when I got home, I think he felt the same way I did.
Yeah, no, it felt great to know that, you know, we have people out there that are, you know, excited to talk about the show and listen to us and enjoy what we're doing.
No, absolutely.
You know,
I mean, we never thought that. We never thought that it would get to a point where people would listen to it or hear it on the street and say, hey, I recognize that.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that was sort of the thing that got us. And hey, it might have been my lotto moment, bro. I was thinking that.
Well, did you buy lotto?
No, man, because I was thinking, fuck, that was it. That was my luck. That was my luck in the sand. That's what I got.
You blew your wad right there.
No. Not that I was going to hit the lotto. That was it. That was my big piece of luck in my whole life.
Yeah, no, I got you.
Like, I'm never going to hit that one card to win the World Series of Poker.
Right.
I'm never going to win the lotto. But hey, you know what, dude? There was that one guy roaming the earth that one day who knew who you were.
Oh, that's awesome.
Right? So I guess it is, man. So thanks a lot, Tim, man. You made my day, like I said again, man. Keep listening. And I want to say thanks to your brother. You told me a couple of your friends from work listen. Just keep it up, man. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you very much, guys. We really do appreciate everything you guys do for us. You know, listening, repping us, promoting, everything you guys do. We really enjoy it.
Yeah, so again, T, we just want to thank everybody for listening. You know, hey, go ahead and put it out on our Patreon. Hey, T, there was a little bit of crash on our Patreon, huh?
Yeah.
So, but they said they're going to recover all our info, everything else, but it sort of wiped out our Patreon or whatever it was. But they said they got all the info, so everything's good.
Yeah, we'll be all right.
Yeah, if you guys signed up, it's going to be coming at you, so don't worry about it. We got some new stuff getting made. Hey, T, we got to talk about the contest, or you want to talk about the next show? Let's talk about it next show, though.
Yeah. I mean, it's all positive stuff, but man, it's painful. It's a little painful.
Well, I don't know about painful. I don't
know what we talked about though. What, like the giveaway and stuff. Like I just see dollar signs going away.
Yeah, but you ain't paid for it. I am.
Oh, bullshit. I have to pay for it by hearing you fucking bitch about it all the time.
Fuck. Okay, I'd love to just pay for it by hearing you bitch.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just saying that, just throwing that out there. But hey, let's just get into it, T, man. Let's get in the man's corner, man. What do you think?
Yeah, I like that.
You know,
that's a cool idea.
Yeah, let's get in the man's corner stuff and just start dealing with some stuff. And it's a lot of topics we want to talk about today, or a few topics we want to talk about today.
Several.
But it's really going to expand, so we just want to get into it, man. And we want to talk about guys in relationships, T.
Such as?
Well, I mean, okay, man. You know, at some point, right, you got to put something on that girlfriend or that wife credit card. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
Whether it be you got to go shopping, if she's into shopping, things like that. But let's just talk about stuff at home, T.
Okay.
So now you're living with somebody. Things are serious, either married or getting there.
Yeah.
Do you got to watch the shows your lady watches just because? I mean, the Kardashians.
Oh, fuck.
You know, whatever else. I mean, who knows what they watch, man? You know, do you got to watch all that shit?
What is it? Desperate Housewives?
Not even all that. Yeah, just all the stuff the ladies watch. And no doubt on them, but those shows are made for women.
They are. Well, yeah. Exactly.
You know what I mean? They really are. And I'm sure there's some guys that enjoy them. Yeah, there's probably some hot chicks on there at some point. You know what I mean? But, dude, I mean, what happens in that situation? Is it something where as a guy you just got to be like, I got to suck it up and do it? Or is it like a give and take? Or should it be a give and take? Yeah, well, I mean, hey, you know, I mean, that's what it is, man.
Okay, so it is a give and take, but let's be honest. A lot of time, guys are doing more of the giving when it comes to that. Because they're trying to keep like the cohesiveness of the relationship. They don't want to rock the boat. They don't want to piss her off. So they're going to sit there and they're going to watch some of the things that their ladies into. And sometimes you could actually enjoy, depending on what it is, you might actually enjoy it. But a lot of times, man, if you're going to talk to me about like Kardashians or anything like that, no, I'm not about any of that crap. I can't even sit there with any kind of reality show.
Okay, really. What about this situation then, T? I mean, maybe you like a specific kind of movie, an action movie or sports, movie or something like that.
Yeah.
And your lady doesn't.
Yeah.
And now what happens? Is it just like she's like, you know what? I just don't want to watch it. But she gets pissed off when you don't watch her stuff. So how does a guy deal with that, T?
Call her out. That's what I would do. Just straight up call her out and just say, you know what? If you want me to sit here and watch your stuff, then that means you got to start putting a little bit of effort in watching the stuff that I like too. I mean, that's only fair. Personally, I think that's only fair.
Yeah, no, we talk about fair all the time, but in reality, I mean, we're both been in relationships. You're married now. So, sometimes it's just bullshit and you got to deal with it.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, so that's my point.
Okay.
How much do you deal with in this situation only?
Right.
Right. This is just about watching TV.
Right. So here's,
or a movie or something like that.
So here's the thing. Okay. My lady's not a big John Wick fan. All right. Like she's just not really into action. She's not into that crap. But she watched it because of me. And there's a lot of times I'll go to the movies and I'll watch something that she wants to see that I have no desire or interest to see. But because she wants to see it, I'll go and watch it. So it is that give and take. And all right, real quick. I had never seen Game of Thrones. Everybody always says how great it is. Okay. My lady and I've never watched it. And just several months ago when season 8 had just started, all of a sudden she's watching it. And I'm like, what the hell is this? But she started from the beginning. Instead of at season 8, she started at the very beginning. She wanted to catch up. I go, what is this? And she goes, it's Game of Thrones. And I go, really? You're going to watch it? She goes, yeah. And she didn't like force me to watch it with her or anything. But I sat there and I started watching a little bit and I got hooked on it. And it was damn good. And it was something that her and I enjoyed together. We were pulling all-nighters. I was going to work, not sleeping.
No, I know those situations.
Yeah.
There's a lot of mutual things that
Right.
are able to be watched together. We're talking about the girly shit.
Yeah, that's what
we're talking about.
That's what
Game
I'm
of
saying.
Thrones isn't a
can't.
girly thing. It's she was watching something interesting that's popular.
Right.
You watched it. Fuck, it's pretty good. It's something mutual. There are mutual things out there, dramas, things like that you can watch, even police stories, things like that interest women as well.
Right.
There's a lot of stuff
but
like that.
my point is you never really know sometimes. Because let's be honest, some guys can get hooked on that shit.
And they do.
Yeah.
That's my point.
Yeah. So, but my point is you never really know, so fuck, try it. You never know.
Did you ever watch soap operas?
A little bit. I really couldn't get too into it, but a little bit.
No, I did. Used to back in the day.
Did you?
Because remember, you got to figure, man. I mean, fuck. I mean, I'm old. I'm an old guy.
Yeah.
So even, when I was just younger, cable TV was just coming around. So it was just a regular standard channels.
Okay.
So you only had so much stuff. And I used
what
to
did
work
you watch?
like
Young and the Restless?
I was just gonna say The Young and the Restless. There were some hot chicks on there, man.
Wait, did you ever watch Dynasty?
I probably rubbed out a couple knuckle babies. Yeah, I watched Dynasty. I probably munched to that thing a few times.
What was the other ones?
Dallas.
That was the
Yeah,
one with
because
JR.
there are hot chicks in there, dude.
And they did a remake of it too. They
I
tried to
didn't
bring
even
it back.
care, man. I just the hot chicks. And what was the daughter's name? Louise Ann?
I don't fucking know, man. I'm
Yeah.
too young, old man.
Knuckle babies, dog. That's what I'm saying. That was my porno back in the day.
Okay.
So yeah, I used to watch that shit. But being honest, I knew the story.
Yeah.
I knew when Victor was messing around on that chick. You know what I mean? So yeah, dude. I mean, yeah, you get into it a little bit, but I'm
sure you do.
Some of the stuff nowadays, like even some of the reality stuff, is a lot of it's tailored for women.
True. All right. So what about you, King? I mean, are you like into the whole, watching shows that you don't really like with a lady or what?
I mean, I'm not into it, but I think at some point it's like you said, you just have to do it. And
Right.
and sometimes I hate it.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there, but you know what? We're spending a weekend together or something, and hey, my show's coming on. I'm going to put it on. Okay. Yeah, we're watching some movie or something that I've seen an umpteen times or something. No problem. But about an hour of that is all I can take, man.
Well, what if they wanted to binge something?
I mean, okay, let me go back a little bit.
Yeah.
If it's a reality show. I'm not into the reality gigs at all.
Neither am I.
But if there's some hot chicks on there, I probably could deal with it for a couple times. Okay. Just because I'm thinking a different way. I'm not even worried about the content of the show.
Yeah, you're just staring at the chicks.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then, I'm smiling, whatever else, and my lady thinks it's all good.
Right.
But really I'm thinking about, whatever else boinking that broad on the screen, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's that kind of stuff, but, I don't know about any other stuff, really. Binging things, yeah. If, she gets into a series or something like that, yeah, man, you might have to bite the bullet and do it.
Well,
because the reality is, right, at some point, the lady, especially if you're not really, and I just want to say invested, she's just going to say, dude, get the fuck out, right?
Well, yeah. The other thing, too, is I know the types of shows that you're into, so it'd be a little bit hard for me to think that some ladies would be into those types of shows.
I don't know about that. I watch a lot of good shows, T.
I didn't say anything about them being good or not good.
Well,
I'm just saying,
my favorite shows right now are probably Ray Donovan and Billions.
Right.
I'm sure there's a 50-50 split right down the middle of viewership.
Okay.
It isn't like, you know what I mean?
What was the name of that show that you turned me on to, and it only lasted like 4 seasons, but it was kick-ass. It was on, I think, Showtime. It was about a guy who pretended to be a cop that he wasn't really.
He pretended to be a cop. Tell me some more. I'll remember.
He had a crew of like 4 or 5, and his ex-wife or ex-girlfriend was part of the crew, and she remarried. They had a kid together. There was drug dealing going on in the town.
Fuck, I don't remember, T.
Oh, fuck. That thing was crazy, dude, where they would rob people and everything. There was the Asian guy that was a transvestite.
Oh, fuck that shit, dude. That was Banshee.
Thank you.
But that again, that's a mutual show.
But see, no, it's
not a guy-driven show.
But
there's a woman.
There's a lot of action in it,
right? But
there's a lot of.
But there's as many women in that show as there is men. Well, and there's many women leads of the story.
I get it, man. But
even the action parts are with the women.
I'm just
Mila
saying,
Jokovic is in that.
But there's a lot of women that'll get turned off on that right away.
But
won't even give it a chance.
But the storyline is about a guy and a girl. That's our mutual show.
But I get it. But I think that's one of those shows that a lot of ladies will just 5-10 minutes into it and they're not on. Not my kind of show.
I don't know about that.
Because it's not Dance Fucking Moms. You know what I mean?
Well, no, we just talked about Ray Donovan is the same kind of thing. But there's many women that watch it. Like I said, I still think viewership's a 50-50. When I'm saying it's a man or a woman show, probably I'm thinking 70-30 split minimum.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking. But I think a lot of times too, when guys are watching these things, like you said, they get into it and probably start watching it even without the girl there.
I bet you they do.
There's probably a lot of guys like that, right?
Like watching The Bachelor?
Yeah. Oh, well, we talked about this radio show locally that these guys do a bit, and they follow The Bachelorette every time and just call these dudes douchebags and everything else.
And they're a sports show.
And they,
that's the funny thing is they're a sports show.
These guys are the best, dude.
They are great.
So, and it's one of those things, too, where, there's so much stuff out there. Who knows what really grabs anybody, right?
Well, yeah. To each his own. It's like anything. Like when we were talking about building the perfect woman and we left out the face part because that's so subjective. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Why are you going to hit the face part? Because, every guy likes something a little bit different.
Exactly. So it is it's a subjective matter. But at the same time, it's one of those things that most guys can agree on that a lot of that crap is mind-numbing. Like I can't sit there and watch anything on fucking Lifetime. Don't ever ask me to watch anything on Lifetime. Fuck that.
No, I had to, T, and it was, was it Lifetime or Ovation or one of those? And it was,
it's just the same. Okay, they're owned by the same company.
Do you ever notice, like on the weekends, their themes of their movies are either about women who kill people or women getting killed or women abused. That's really it.
Women who kill because they are abused. There's that too.
No, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
So they're abused and sort of like all the storylines behind it.
Yeah,
but there's multiple movies like that all day long.
Yeah, that's all Lifetime is.
Yeah, I watched a couple of those before.
Yeah, I could tell.
It's shitty, dude. I'm sitting there with my girl, I'm trying to think, okay, this is a little crappy. She can't be that into it.
Right.
Let me see if I can get a little bit of some action.
Hell no.
Babe, let me watch a movie.
Hell no.
What? Fuck, you're into this thing? What the fuck?
Yeah.
But hey.
That's a deal killer right there.
Yeah, exactly. But then, after the hour, hey, here it comes. Boing, boing, boing. You know what I'm saying? So
okay, so let me ask you this then. All right? Because now we're talking about, watching it with your lady. But, what about the other way? Is it a must that, your partner watches sports with you or is okay with you watching sports? Like, do you guys watch it together? Does she just leave you alone because you're watching it? I mean, what is that? I mean, for you, is that a must?
Pass the ball, Kobe.
I think that what it is. Yeah, thanks, Dr. X. Hello. Hey, we didn't say hi to Dr. X.
We didn't. We just got into it.
Oh, fuck, dude.
He's gone next week, G.
Pass the ball, Kobe.
You know that, right?
That's why he's throwing that out there.
Hey, he's gone next week.
No, it's the week after.
Oh, I thought it was next week.
No. It's the week after.
What the fuck you tell me next week for, asshole?
Because he wants you to hug him and kiss him.
Fuck
yeah,
that.
because you guys are missing each other already.
Oh,
but okay,
yeah.
back to the question. What's up, Dr. X? Hey, shout out to Dr. X. Dr. X is here again.
This is me missing him.
All right. Yeah, okay,
That's
guys.
me missing him.
Yeah, exactly. You guys, you guys have your man crush on each other and you guys do all the things you do together. And that's good. I'm happy for that.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever, guys.
Anyway, get back to my fucking question, asshole.
Well, let's finish saying hi to Dr. X. You didn't even say hi to him.
What's up, Dick?
Yeah, exactly. So,
There you go.
Hey, all right. Hey, what's going on, Dr. X? Yeah, good looking out. Yeah, sorry it took so long to say hi to you. But yeah, talking about the sports things. Yeah, okay. The thing I look at, man, I'm a football guy. I am 100% of football.
Football?
If somebody's with me during this football season, okay. Oh, dude. Oh.
Yeah, see, now you're creaming.
I am, dude.
We
You
gotta,
don't even know. I'm thinking about Super Bowl.
we got to clean up your chair right now.
Oh, Sunday mornings, eating breakfast, watching football. Oh, jeez. It's so lucky we're on the West Coast.
Oh, because it's
We
10
got
o'clock.
10 a.m. games,
Yeah.
not 1 p.m. games. I was on the East Coast for a couple years.
Yeah.
It sucked.
It does.
It doesn't end until really late. You're fucking tired. You got to work on Monday.
Oh, yeah.
Then you go to
so
work all fucking tired on Monday, and then you
if
got to
the
get home
games run
early, and
late,
it's Monday
you're
night.
up there till, midnight?
Yeah, dude, I was all fucked up for till Wednesday of every week when I lived
Nice.
out there, But anyway, my thing is this. I just don't think there's a lot of women that really like football. And I know it's changing a little bit.
True.
And I think it's how you make it. And I'm going to give a couple examples. I was talking to one of my boys about this at work, and he made a really good point. And of how him and his lady, when they first started, she was not into sports at all. He's a huge Eagles fan.
Oh, poor guy.
And his whole family is Eagles fans.
Oh,
So, yeah, they just won a Super Bowl a couple years ago, so I'm not feeling so bad for them. But anyway, they basically, when they first started dating, she didn't like any sports, to watch sports at all, nothing into it. Do you know what I mean? But he sort of did something that when he was talking about it, it sort of clicked on me that, hey, guys, there's a little bit of a strategy for you. You make it fun for your lady. So he said, well, he would say like his relatives would always have barbecues on Sunday.
Right.
Their wives were there, their girlfriends were there. So there was someone for her to talk to. Get a little gathering going instead of just sitting in the in the living room watching TV every week.
Yeah.
It just makes it a little bit more exciting and fun. And then if and when women see other women enjoying the sport, they're going to give it a shot, give it a chance.
Yeah, they might. Yeah.
So I think thinking about that way, but I think the majority of women would prefer to watch either basketball or baseball. It's easier to understand.
It is. It's easier to follow.
Yeah, and that's really what it is. I think they get wrapped up in they think it's complex to understand the rules of football.
True.
And it's a very primitive sport, but anyway, you know what I mean? It's just but that's the mentality just because of how big it is, and it just seems like it's a little bit on a bigger stage. That's what I think. That's my take. But I think at some point, yeah, as a guy, if you're watching sports, it is a must. Because I want to do things with my lady if I'm in a relationship. So you have to have those discussions and those things before. It's even like when we talked about sex, T.
Yeah.
Certain things you're into and whatever it is, whether it be sports, the things that be smart enough to identify those things and just don't be in a cloud because you're getting a piece of pussy. And then you get serious about it and you're like, okay, well, I'm getting it. I'm locked into it. And she doesn't like me watching football. What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's too late at that point, man.
It's way too late at that point. You know, I just don't, I don't know. For me, I haven't had to deal with that. You know, I've been pretty fortunate that I can sit there and I can watch football. I can sit there and watch baseball. I can sit there.
Let me say that. I'm not going to cut you off, but the reality is you don't watch it every day, all day on Sunday, right?
No, I don't. Not like
exactly.
you. Not like you.
Okay.
Not like you. But, I mean, even if I wanted to watch a particular game or if I wanted to do anything, I pretty much have the ability and the freedom to do so without it causing an issue. You know, I'm into hockey. I'll sit there and I'll watch Kings games. You know, luckily for me, my lady loves Kings games, and she surprises me sometimes with tickets, and we go and we have a great time. You know, so I'm pretty fortunate with things like that.
But I think too, right? I mean, you know my situation, even my ex-wife, you know, and she knew what I did on Sunday during football season. It's all day.
Yeah.
I'm not doing anything. I'm watching football. Starts at 10 a.m. First game finishes at 1. Second game starts at 1:05.
Right.
After that, 4 o'clock, 4:30 it ends. I got either Sports Center or I got something else before the night game at 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock till 8:30, that game's on, and then I watch prime time. Then I'm going to sleep.
Yeah, so it's all football
It's all day. So I don't think a lot of guys can do that and get away with that in a lot of relationships where their women aren't really good with it.
Yeah.
You know, and I used to put a spin on it with my wife. Hey, here, honey, here's some money. You go enjoy yourself at the mall. Go do whatever you want to do. She knew that during football season. She was good with it. But non-football season, I better get off my ass and I better do some stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the agreement, right? So that's the give and take of it, I guess. What's your take on it, T?
You know, I don't know. Again, I think for most guys, this is a must. And for most guys, I think if they were smart, they'd either be doing what you're doing as far as, you know, or what your buddy did when it comes to kind of making it into a fun type of situation where they can gather and they can be around other people and they can also passively be watching the game with you, you know, and that's the smart thing to do. Again, I haven't had to worry about that too much personally, but if I was in that type of situation, for me, it'd be a must. You know, for me, it's one of those situations where I like sports. I enjoy it. I may not be into football the way that you are as far as that hardcore and what you were doing, but I got to say, man, I honestly would be the kind of guy that would have to have like my lady either be cool with it or sit there and watch it with me, you know, because it makes a big difference. It does, because if not, you're just going to be adding some fuel to that fire, and it's just going to turn really bad.
Like friction all the time.
Yeah, completely.
Or every time you want to watch it.
Yeah, and then it becomes where they're going to sit there and they're going to start resenting it, and they're going to resent you, you know, and that becomes ugly.
No, absolutely does. And then at that point, here comes the ultimatum.
Right.
And then what do you do in that situation, T?
Yeah, that's kind of tough, man. That's, you know, that's kind of one of those things, you know, about bailing out on a relationship. I mean, do you stay or do you go if that ultimatum happens?
Well, straight up, I mean, we're asking the question about sports. So your lady says, you know what? I'm not into it. I don't want you to be into it. You can't watch it anymore. It's either sports or me. What do you do? What does a guy do?
Well, I think each guy needs to choose for himself. But at the same time, if it was me, I don't like those types of ultimatums. I don't like having that. Now, we can come to some kind of agreement. You know, maybe I was overdoing it. Maybe, you know, yeah, I can kind of back off on it a little bit and, you know, like a compromise, you know, okay, here's what I'm willing to do. Right. And maybe she agrees to it. Maybe she doesn't, but I think you have to somehow come to a common ground first, don't you?
I mean, I got a whole different opinion. My opinion is if she gives me that type of ultimatum, hit the bricks, bitch. I mean, really. I mean, at that point now, when you start compromising or negotiating that, when's it going to end? I mean, at some point, right, she's got to respect the things you like as well as the things she likes.
Well,
right?
yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
that's the bottom line. It's a give and take.
But I think, okay.
You know what I mean? So the reality is, right? Okay, so I'll just, say 16 weeks. There's 52 weeks in a year.
Right.
There's 16 weeks in football plus 3 or 4 weeks of playoffs.
Right.
And that's not even all day shit.
True.
So, I mean, reality is not even half the year. One day that you ask for your own and she gives an ultimatum. I'm not going to be with that woman.
Now, what if you and your lady don't see each other that much during the week, so the weekends are all you got?
Again, I think that's a normalcy. I think a lot of people, there's both people that work, or even if one person works, how much do you see your partner? Right? I mean, think about it. You get home 6 o'clock, you're asleep by 10 o'clock. Are you with her or with them for those absolute 4 hours? Are they going out shopping, or they got to go to the market? You got to go do something, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's both, there's all that, and I understand about that. But again, too, it's, okay, what about, things that your partner likes to do? And now you have to basically submit to that or do that because that's what she wants to do. It may not necessarily be the number one thing on your list, but you're going to do it because you know what, she wants to spend time together. I understand. But at some point, right, I mean, if you're in a situation like me and you want to watch football all day, giving in like that at all or compromising, you're just going to end up losing the battle.
Okay. But you're making an argument from your perspective as far as an NFL fan.
Right, exactly. And that's what we asked. I asked your opinion. You asked mine. Yeah, so this is what I would do.
No, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. But what about those that are, let's say, NBA fans?
It's different, though, T, because it's one game. If you're an NBA fan, I mean, really the only way to really kill yourself is to have the NBA package watching every game,
and
right?
there are dudes out there that
No,
do
you're
that
right.
shit.
But, I mean, at that point, that's every day.
Right.
That's a little different than one day a week. That's a lot different than one day.
Well,
it's the same like baseball.
Yeah.
But again, how many games can you watch a day, too? You work for a living. Right? You get home, two, they're 3.5 hours each. You get the one on the East Coast has already started when you get home.
Yeah.
And then you get a West Coast game.
Yeah.
So 4 or 5 hours of games every day, though. That's a huge difference.
That's much. That's what I'm saying. That's my point, though.
Right.
I understand your point for an NFL fan, but then there's other sports that have long, deep seasons. You know what I mean? And that's kind of where I'm getting at, because there are guys out there that have these packages and they're watching games every single day.
Yeah, you're right. But don't you think that's a smaller percentage of the guys who actually are fans of the sport?
I know guys that will watch any game that's on just because there's a game on.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Just
that,
like you'll watch any football game, you were watching the AAF or whatever it was.
Exactly. It doesn't matter to me who's playing.
Right.
It's NFL football. I'm watching.
Right.
So, yeah, it doesn't matter.
But see, that's my point, though. There's guys that are out there that are going to do that.
Right. But again, like I said, I think it's a smaller percentage in those other sports just because how taxing it would be on your whole life. Right. I think you're right. Maybe there's even guys that watch it 2-3 nights a week.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or they're going out to a sports bar a couple nights a week because they want to watch games.
Right.
Different games that they can't see.
Exactly.
And things like that. So, I mean, I understand that, but I don't know about for me personally, I don't know anybody who's wrapped up into, say, the NBA and watching it every day. And I know a lot of guys who watch sports. I know guys who like a few teams in the NBA, so they want to watch this team, and they get the package.
Yeah.
And they're watching 2 or 3 games, 4 games a week.
Well, how many times have you sat there, watched NBA basketball and it didn't matter what team it was on, just because it was some kind of sport?
Yeah, me not. I sometimes I don't watch it, T. And I'll be honest, I'm just not that really crazy about basketball, like regular season basketball. If there's someone on that I'm interested in, or I want to see play, or if a team's good, like back in if San Antonio had Kawhi, or the Philadelphia 76ers were playing, I want to see those guys play. But if it's Orlando against Memphis, probably not.
No. I probably wouldn't watch
and sometimes those games are on TNT. They're the national game.
Unless there was some action on the game.
Yeah.
That was
exactly.
the only way
Yeah, but I mean, even for me, I don't put a lot of action in basketball. I do a lot of March Madness stuff, but basketball's crazy, and I don't follow it enough.
Right.
I just don't like tossing money around like I do. But I mean, but to me, I mean, yeah. But I do think too that you have a better success if you're lady liking basketball and baseball. Like
you'll have a lot of success if they do.
No. I mean that you have a better chance because there's a more opportunity and more women like basketball and baseball than football. Although I will say there's a trend up in football.
There is.
Because, I go to games out of the, out of the neighborhood, I take off for the thing. And there's a lot of women at these games.
Yeah.
And they're screaming, yelling. They just sort of seem like they know what the fuck they're listening to or watching.
Right.
So, I mean, maybe it's a little bit of a spike up or a trend up that way too, because the NFL is still the most popular sport out there.
Well, it is. It is. And you're right. I mean, there are women. We're not trying to pigeonhole anything. But let's face it. I mean, if you're a guy, chances are, at least there's at least what 40% chance that your lady may not like the sport that you're into, and so you got to be able to deal with that.
And that's why it should all be talked up front, T. I mean, like your opening conversations. Hi, hon, how are you? Oh yeah, hi. What's your name? Yeah. So what do you like? Well, I work for a living, man. I bust my ass. I work a lot. I work hard, bitch. But don't take my money because I'm broke.
Right.
I'm a sports guy. I like to watch some sports. I'm not super crazy, but I do get a little crazy for sports. Bear fan, Dodger fan, Laker fan.
Right.
Throw it out there. What's it going to hurt in the beginning?
Well, and hopefully they respond positively.
Well, if they don't, you didn't have a lot invested.
No, you don't.
Right? You know what I mean? You might have to go rub one out at home because you got a boner.
Here's the thing.
Hey,
okay, let's say a lot of those. Let's say you're married or even living together.
All right.
So let's say you're married and you're living together. What happens then? Even though you may have threw that out and she was fine with that in the beginning, but then she wants more as the relationship grows.
Well,
do you see my point?
No, I not that I see your point. I've lived your point.
Exactly.
And that's exactly it, and I think sometimes the women don't realize what they're getting into. And their thought is, okay, I'll just deal with it and we'll deal with it as it goes. And they start getting, like you said, the animosity to it and everything else. And it might be because of one instance or a couple instances, and there it is, man. That starts the foundation of that mess.
Yeah, it's all it takes.
So, I mean, for me, like I said, if my partner gave me an ultimatum like that and said, hey, dude, you know what? It's either me or the NFL. First question I ask is, why the fuck would you even say that to me? Second question is, do you need a Lyft or an Uber? Where are you going?
Can I send you?
Exactly.
Can I call a cab for you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, really, right at that point. I mean, because now you're just sort of trying to strong arm the relationship to me.
Right.
Come off the right way. Hey,
no,
right? You know what I mean? So if that
sure.
came to me, I'd just be like, hit the bricks, bitch. But so now talking about relationships a little bit more, T, and guys getting into these relationships like we just talked about, and a couple things you got to deal with your lady.
Yeah.
What happens? I mean, you get into it, and yeah, man, you work out the sports thing. You work out the TV thing. Okay. Everything's good. But then, you know what, man? Just shit starts going sideways, bro. You guys are on each other's asses a little bit more. Bickering, arguing a little bit more. There's a little bit more of that. A little bit of, instead of fucking every night, now we're just chilling. We don't even talk. Barely a peck to go to sleep because she's pissed off. She's always pissed off. You're always pissed off. What do you do, or what is it? What are the deal breakers in these relationships, T? I mean, what happens, you ever see that, you ever get, I know you have, but you get these arguments and they last days sometimes.
Right.
You don't even talk.
Right.
If you're not married to a woman and that shit's going on, how much do you deal with, T?
The longest an argument has ever lasted with my lady and I is a day. And no matter how pissed off we are, one of us will approach the other one and finally just say, even if we're not about to say, oh, it was my bad, or I'm in the wrong, or you're in the wrong, or whatever. Even though we're not going to do that, it's just one of those things. It's like, listen, can we just stop? This is dumb. Can we just kind of move on and just put it behind us? So that's one of the things that we tried to do, at least. And I think the longest it's lasted is a day. But you're right. I mean, deal breakers. What kind of deal breakers are you talking about? You're talking about like fucking farting in bed?
Whatever. I mean, okay, so just talking about the subject we're just talking about, right? So talking about with your lady, demanding more of you, changing things like that.
I think the ultimatum thing kind of is one of those, at least pretty high up there. You know, when you start giving ultimatums, then there's something wrong. You know, there's something really, really bad in the relationship.
CT, and that's another thing too, man. And I'm all about this, man. And it's not at a point where, and you know, this is why I sort of broke off my last relationship, and it was sort of going towards the marriage cycle again.
Right.
And you know what? All this person kept saying was, I just wanted to control them. And it's not about control, but it's understand that I still believe in certain, I guess, structure in a family.
Such as?
That the man is the head of the house.
Okay.
And I understand that she's part of the decision-making process, but there's a reason why the man is typically in a relationship the head of the house. He's taking the brunt of a lot of the stress and a lot of things from the family.
Right.
And he's taking care of that, and that's his responsibility. And it isn't an equal relationship there. And I think that it's close to it, but I think a lot of women feel, and especially in empowered women nowadays, that it's all an equal relationship. And guys have really bowed into that. And it's not a fact that men are trying to me, men are trying to say things or belittle women or do things like that, because I never condone that. And I don't condone the men verbally abusing, physically abusing, ever doing that to a woman.
Right.
If you're not into a woman and whatever else, if she pisses you off, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
And don't fucking go back. Because if you're at that point, man, you just got to get the fuck out of there. You can't be stupid and never put your hands on a woman. But my point is, sometimes these women feel like, hey, you know what? I have just as much voice as you do. And you're right, in the relationship you do. But once that family starts and there's a family and there's children, at some point there has to be someone who has the final word. And it doesn't work when you keep bouncing it back and forth with a partner who won't understand that at all. That's the difficulty to me.
Right. So you're saying, like, if you have a child and the child wants to do something and you're saying one thing and she's saying the other thing, you know, so you guys are on complete polar opposites.
I'm not even saying something like that.
spectrum.
Something like that should be able to be worked out. I'm talking at a higher level that, you know, maybe financial or, you know, something like that. The big questions and things that happen in relationships.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about, those bigger things. The smaller things, the trivial things day by day. You're right. You should be able to work it out if
Right.
you guys are together.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about deal breakers or things that happen before you bail out, I'm talking about almost like the more escalated things.
So, like, when you mentioned financial, you mentioned a couple other things. You know, my feeling is, you know, not everybody's good at everything. And this is true for work. This is true for anything. Okay? Especially in a relationship. Not everybody's good at everything. So you have to play to the strengths and weaknesses of you and your partner. So you may have a partner that's good with one thing that you're not as strong at, and you let them kind of take the lead on that.
Like, give me an example, Tim.
So let's say finances, right?
Okay, gotcha.
So let's say finances. I may be horrible, which I am with finances.
Gotcha.
But my lady's
I got you.
fucking amazing.
Right. No, I'm with you. All right, yeah.
You know, so I'll let them take the lead on that because I know that that's what they're
Right,
good
and I
at.
understand that, but that's part of that give and take that I'm saying. But okay, now think of this. So yeah, you're right. You let her take the lead, but now all of a sudden, every decision is made by her, and every suggestion you have, you know what? Don't worry about it. I'm taking care of it. And at some point,
Yeah, that's a little, yeah.
Well, I mean, a lot of guys, I think, maybe not that exact specific thing,
Right.
but they sort of bow to that.
Right.
And that's when the whole thing sort of starts festering, man.
Yeah.
You know, I really do. You know, I had a question today. The same guy at work I talk to all the time. Shout out to you, Nick. I was talking to my friend Steph, too, at work. And we asked a question to each other, you know, like, what do you think the biggest reason of people breaking up is, T? And they had some pretty good answers. You know, me and Steph sort of felt the same way, and it was right, like the first thing we thought of. But then Nick had a good answer, too.
Like
and I started
infidelity?
thinking, that's the first thing I thought. That's
That's like the
Steph
first thing
thought.
that normally pops to most people's head.
And Nick pops out finances.
That would be number 2.
Whoa, that's what I said. I said it'd
Yeah.
be close, but then
That's a close
he started
second.
saying stuff, and you know what, man? It probably is pretty fucking even, if not even maybe finances is first.
Right.
Because you start really thinking about it in relationship, that's when the tension comes, dog.
Okay.
You know what I mean, right?
So let me share a little with you right now, and with everybody listening to this. You know, as you know, I'm in the process of buying a house right now, and we're just about closing. And just the process of buying a home, and the whole idea of, you know, you're putting 10% down, plus on top of that, you're putting more down because you have all these closing fees and all these miscellaneous and all this BS and all this money that's just going out, and you're not even moved into the home yet. and you have to sign all these papers, and then you have to try to make decisions on homeowners insurance. And, you may not understand half of that shit. You may not understand half of the shit that you're signing, right? And that can be very taxing on a relationship. That can be very stressful. That adds a whole other level of stress that most couples can't deal with. And there's been a couple of times where my lady and I, we've actually, been at each other's throats for the most stupid, mundane thing, and it's just because of the stress of that.
But this is the first house you bought too, correct?
It is.
So, after this, T, you're not going to be that way.
Hopefully not.
It's
no.
not going to be because you understand it.
We
now,
understand the process
right?
better.
So, that first one, you're right, 100% is so stressful.
Yes, and we're talking finance too.
But I think for most people anyway, you either know right away you're not going to, or you go through it and there's still chances you might not get it. But at some point, it sort of stops.
Right.
So, I don't know if that's even, the situation that would be a deal breaker. But, okay, what if it continued? And all that stress.
And if it carried over, then that would actually get into a danger point, I think, because of that stress level carrying over to just your everyday things. And like you said earlier, you got to get to a point where you're just like, okay, this is just stupid. This is insane. Why are we continuing to do this? And so you can make a couple decisions. You could go to couples therapy, or you could just call it quits. You could just say, you know what? We're better off not being together.
And I got my take on therapy, and I've been in a couple relationships, and that was thrown out there, and I look at it like this, and I really think this: if we are two people who can think rationally, who have intelligence and understanding, and know what each one of us are doing, and we can't mediate between ourselves and resolve this thing ourselves, I really don't think someone else that I don't know, that I'm going to pay money to, is going to be able to change my thinking. And I'm just not into it.
And I can't disagree with you more, because when you are a rational, logical person, many times if you're dealing with two rational, logical people, just to your point, you think you're right about something and you don't see everything. And so having a third party come in, they're not pointing out who's right and who's wrong. That's not what the point is. The point is to be able to open up that line of communication and get that flowing again, so that your rational, logical self can come out and you can understand each other. Because at some point, you stop listening to the other person.
Absolutely do.
Right.
And I agree. And
so
I understand
that's what really for.
And I think with that comment, I think it sort of shows maybe you've been through that. But to me, again, I would just shut down in there. That's my point. It's me, myself, personally.
And I get it. I get it.
And there's a lot of people it works for.
Right.
But me, I can't, T. I just can't. And I've tried. I just
That's
shut down.
what I was just going to ask you. Have you tried?
Yeah, absolutely. Have my first marriage.
Right.
Yeah. I basically walked out. You can go fuck yourself too. Take her with you. You know what I mean? So fuck, right? I mean, whatever. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. And a lot of these guys, but how much do you put up with on those things as a guy? And the thing that used to get me too, and obviously I have children,
right?
And what happens when they're in the situation? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
and you have to think about that when you're thinking about considering ending relationships like that.
Yeah,
because they are
hard.
Affected.
They're affected more than most people realize.
Right, and again, I think one of the senseless tragedies in this world, but it happens, is a lot of deadbeat dads and single moms.
True.
My hat's off to the single moms in this world.
Oh, hell yeah.
They got the toughest fucking job in the world. Hats off to you, single moms.
Yep.
And any guys who were raised by single moms, you better be calling your mom at least every fucking week, telling her you love her.
Yep.
Because she busted her ass for you.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true.
And that's really the way it is, guys. Yeah, we understand there's some of those stories out there, but for the most part, guys, your mom did it for you.
What about this? What about the single dads out there? There's a lot of that shit now.
I was just going to say that
It's a lot more
too,
common now.
That, and I have friends of mine who've raised kids and even raised other people's kids where they were in relationships with women, and hats off to those guys.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And fuck, they didn't have to do none of that. And they look at these kids like they're their own, and that's just great. You know what I mean? And that's a perfect thing. But okay, what do you do and what do you put up with in these relationships, T, before you bail out, say, in a situation like that? You got a couple small kids, you know what's going on. do you just say fuck it and bite the bullet and stick around at least for a while till the kids get older? What if they're like, say like 5 to 7, where you think that's just fuck, it's going to fuck them up? As it probably will, right? I mean, at some point, some way, mom and dad aren't together anymore.
Yeah, if they're older, let's say they're teens.
That's my point.
Yeah, if they're teens, you could.
And I know that's a really touchy time for kids and adolescents and all the things they're going through and their bodies are changing, but you still can be with them and around them and they'll understand it more, right? Don't you think?
They can. And I had a buddy of mine who had a very bad marriage and he wanted out, but he had 2 young kids. And his whole thing was, I got to wait till they're old enough. And so he stuck it out for years and years, man. And he was miserable. But by the time they were about, one was 15 and I think the other one was 16 because they were only like a year apart. Then that's when he decided, you know what, enough is enough. But his situation was a little bit different too because he caught her cheating. And that's when he was like, all right, I'm out. Fuck it.
Well, yeah, I mean.
That's a deal breaker right there.
Well, probably, I mean, you can't hide the fact that you want out of a relationship.
No, the other person can tell.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean? Even, physically, whatever else.
And I'm sure the kids could tell.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was going to be my point even before you mentioned that, was at some point there in that relationship, someone was going to be, have infidelity.
Yeah.
It's just that's what's setting it up for. And that's the point, I think, a little bit, right? Because it sort of escalates. Okay, I'm going to put up with this shit. I'm really not into this shit anymore. And you just start getting turned off. And
it festers.
And
yeah, you're right.
I think the point where I was getting at a little bit was those financial things could create a lot of the infidelity. And I think when I was listening to my boy Nick today, I was thinking like, you know what, man? I never really thought of it like that. And it probably skews the number.
Like trying to find somebody that's a little bit more financially sound.
Well, he mentioned that. Like, hey, I drive a Saturn. This guy's driving a Ferrari. I don't think that. But what I think is the pressure in the relationship because of financial problems creates those things where you're separated for a while or not doing the things or not feeling it anymore.
Right.
Because it's here's an example, man. The girls thinking, man, this guy's a deadbeat. He can't fucking pay our bills. He can't get ahead. He can't do this shit. She's on him all the time. And he's like, fuck, this bitch just brought just a bitch. I'm busting my ass. I'm killing myself. There's animosity.
True.
You might have some sex once or twice a week. You used to have it once or twice a day. It's just not the same.
Right.
So at that point, the finances are creating that infidelity because now one of them is going to go seek it somewhere else. Not necessarily looking for a sugar daddy or sugar mama. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But just the fact of a clean relationship. Right?
Yeah, without that headache.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, that's tough, man. And I think Nick hit it right on the head, man. That's a big one. Financial is a huge strain in a relationship. That could be a deal breaker, and I think that is a huge deal breaker for a lot of families and a lot of relationships. I doubt that a lot of sports breaks up a lot of them. I have heard of like guys having a video game addiction, and those have broken up families and relationships.
That's probably pretty recent, right? I mean, that's probably affecting guys more recently.
In the last 20 years, maybe.
With Xbox. The last 10 years.
With Xbox and everything. Yeah, maybe 10.
You know what I mean?
With Xbox and the PlayStation 4, I mean, these guys, especially with all the online games and everything and all the first-person shooters.
Yeah, you're right. And guys really get addicted to that shit.
They do. I'm looking at one right now.
Who?
I'm looking at one right now.
Dude, I got addicted to 2 games back in the day.
Right.
Yeah, and then when I finished them, that was it.
But you got addicted to it is my point.
Yeah, but I never jumped to the next one or nothing else.
No, not like these guys do. But I mean,
yeah, no, these guys. And a lot of these games too, aren't they? Or I don't know any day. I don't do any of those games anymore. I don't play any of the games anymore. But are the newer games? Are they just like continuous? You can never finish them, or how do they go?
So they're an online community. And so they're on maps and in forums and stuff. And so what you're doing is you're just playing against a bunch of other dudes, and it's almost like a free for all. Even though you have teams, you have your squad, and your squad goes out and you're just trying to dominate.
Okay, so what about Fortnite?
That's what that is.
Oh, I thought that's a killing movie. You dominate with your.
It's not a movie; it's a game.
I mean, a game. Sorry,
yeah.
Dick. I'm a dick. I know.
Yeah, it's a first-person shooter.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you build shit on Fortnite.
No, you can. You build like a little base and shit like that. But I mean, it's a first-person shooter. You go out and you just start fucking sniping.
That's all it is?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. See, that's all everything is, right?
That's all it is.
Call of Duty, all that shit. Right?
All of them, dude.
You know, I used to have a
My
business
son's all
partner.
into that shit.
Well, I used to have a business partner who used to be a retired sheriff.
Right.
And this guy had a whole team of retired sheriffs that would play SOCOM.
Oh, yeah.
SOCOM?
Back in the day, yeah.
Yeah. And they were all piped in on the internet, and they would play these other teams for big money. You know, there was 5 guys on a team. Everybody put up $100. So they're playing for $500 a night.
Fuck.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, these dudes were into it. And they got their headsets on. They got all their shit. They know what to do.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, hey, dude, you want to watch him play SOCOM? What the fuck you doing? Well, here, check this out. And they started playing, and he got killed right away. Whatever. You know what I mean? But, you know, I'm just saying, you know, there's even adults really into that stuff,
But
right?
that breaks up relationships, too.
I can see how that's probably even worse than sports, right?
That was where I was getting at, man. Because, you know, there's guys into sports, but these guys get addicted to the point where they completely ignore every other aspect of their life other than maybe going to work.
No, you're right. And I was there. You sort of get wrapped up in this thing so much. I got into first Call of Duties, T.
Right. But that's why I pointed you out, because I remember what you were going through.
Well, dude, and it was a tough time because it was sort of like right when I got my first divorce.
Right.
So I had an apartment all by myself, missing everybody, missing my kids, missing everybody else.
Yeah.
And fuck, it just ate the time up. But then I got hooked on that thing. And I had to play it. The worst day was when I finished the game, dude. I felt so empty the next day. You know, like, fuck, I had nothing to do. And to me, I started realizing it was more because I was just thinking about what happened.
Right.
And I just needed to move on.
Yeah.
But yeah, that
But you were using it more of a
void.
distraction.
Yeah, it filled the void for me.
Right.
You know, but I can see how that shit's so addicting. That's my point. Because I would come home and be like, nope, I ain't playing tonight. I got to sleep. I didn't sleep at all yesterday. Fucking got done at 4 a.m.
Right.
You know, left for work at 6.
But see, that was different because that was playing what they call the campaign. So you're playing the game through its entirety. Nowadays, they have the campaign, but then the other level is the online play. And the online play, that never ends.
Right, because it's just like a war zone that you fight everybody
Exactly.
in. Yeah, so
It's like a Halo. It's like all that shit. So that happens all the time.
I mean, you know, you sit here talking about me, and that's what, 20 years ago?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, maybe even more. No, it's more than that. It's 25 years ago. 'Cause I know when I got a divorce.
Right.
What about you, Mr. Assassin's Creed?
I haven't played.
I
haven't played the last 3.
Oh, okay. So what's that? 5, 6 years?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm 25 years away. That's my point, man.
Yeah.
It's everyone at some point, because of your age, we're affected by this a little bit.
Right.
You know what I mean? But yeah, you're right. There are guys that overdo that. And then I think for sure that's a fucking deal breaker in a relationship, dog.
Yeah, I was just going to say that causes the stress and brings the drama into the relationship, which causes that to be a deal breaker at some point. Because a lot of times these guys can't stop. You know, they got to keep going. They got to keep going, and it becomes an addiction for them. And that's a deal breaker for the lady. I would assume that, you know, most ladies aren't going to put up with that forever. They're not going to keep going like that. You know, if you have kids, you know, you're not paying attention to the kids. You're not doing things like that. So you're not doing your fatherly duties at that point.
And let's be honest, T, you know, and there's a lot of fucking deadbeat motherfuckers out there, and they take advantage of these women that are giving them these opportunities until the woman finally just says, you know, fucking piece of shit, get the fuck out.
True.
And we've had these discussions, me and my friends and whatever else, and we're older cats, and it's hard for us to find women in our age group and women we want to date that don't have children if they're dating.
Well, that's, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just a simple fact.
Yeah, that's a dodo bird right there.
Right, you know what I mean? So yeah, but and a lot of my friends are in this mode where, yeah, dude, I just don't want to deal with a ready-made family. Dude, you got to meet the lady first.
Yeah.
It's not even really about thinking that way. You're already losing. You know, you got to get into at least have a discussion with her, talk to her. If you're interested in her or attracted to her, give it a shot.
Yeah.
I mean, kids are the deal breaker. I mean, I guess for a lot of people they are too, right?
I think, yeah, for a lot of guys, more guys than women. Women are kind of more of the nurturing type, so it's not really that big of a deal to them. But I think for guys, it's more of a deal breaker, which is kind of stupid because to your point, I mean, once they hit, you know, around our age in their 40s, fuck, man, seriously, what the fuck is left out there?
No, I agree. I mean,
you know, like,
and like
seriously.
I say, I tell you, you know, and I like younger women, but I'm an older guy.
Yeah.
So younger women to me are, you know, 30-ish, right?
But even then they already have.
That's my point. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of 30-year-olds out there that have never been married or have kids.
Right.
It's just not out there, T. You know?
That's just fucking stupid. That's stupid thinking. It
You know,
just doesn't make any
just
sense.
sucks that a lot of younger women that have had to deal with, being a single mom early, and they have a lot to offer, and they've done stuff in their life and done stuff to really, and guys just don't even want to deal with it or give them shit because of their children.
Yeah, that's kind of fucked up mentality right there.
No, it's fucked up, period, and those motherfuckers need to be slapped.
Well,
Because what, man? Yeah, go say that to your mother.
But that's probably why they're single. That's
Yeah.
probably why they're single, though.
Well, yeah, but you got these guys too that think they're all that and they're not going to deal with shit like that. But you know what, dude? For the most part, to me, if a guy's thinking that way, he's just a dick.
That kind of reminds me of the Simpsons episode where Marge lost her memory. And so she couldn't remember Homer. He was trying to win her back and make her remember. She remembered everybody, her kids and everybody, right? But then she was, towards the end of the episode, she was out on a date with somebody else. And Homer, I don't know, he was finally so depressed, he was going to like off himself or something like that. And she all of a sudden remembered him, and she ran to his aid to help him. Oh, my homie. And she remembered. And then they started to reunite, and they're like, what do you say, Dad? Will you take Mom back? And he goes, I don't know, date somebody with kids. I don't know. Like, what kind of shit is that, dude? Those are his kids.
But I know. But see that, and
I don't know, man.
And they always play humor at sensitive things on that show.
They do.
So yeah, that's a very sensitive subject, and that happens out there.
Yeah, it does.
And to me, man, whatever. To guys that are thinking that way, go fuck yourselves. I just don't appreciate that. Yeah,
you're a fucking idiot, because you're missing out on a lot.
Absolutely,
you really are.
Judging a woman and what she's doing for you and everything else. I love women. T, you know that. I really try to treat my women good. I'm an asshole. I tell them that straight up. But if you can deal with it, honey, I'm gonna take care of you.
Yeah.
And for the most part, I have success. It's just, like I said, at this time, I'm just not into the super honey and all that shit right now.
Yeah, you're just at a different place right now.
Yeah, plus I don't want to fuck up football season, but
I mean, football season's coming up.
Oh, fuck, dude. Yeah, no, I'm getting excited, dude. Stop, all right? I got to focus, man. All right, so just closing up that spot, T, we just want to talk to the guys out there, bring out some stuff, a little bit of some talk on, hey, what do you got to put up with, what you don't, and I think T brought up some really good points.
I think we both did. There's a lot of things out there that are deal breakers for others, whether it's sports, whether it's, listening or watching to those fucking annoying shows that are women's shows. Anything on Lifetime, just fucking kill me now. But seriously, guys, when you got a lady and she's a good lady, you're going to put up with a lot more, especially if she treats you well.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And, it's really, one of those things where guys just have to make up their mind. Are you going to be in a relationship or not?
Yeah, you got to shit or get off the pot, So, guys, you guys that are listening out there, I know we talked about a lot of shit, but you know what? You guys got to get your head out of your ass sometimes. And sometimes it's not all just you. Sometimes it's the women too. And at some point, you got to decide for yourself, fuck it. I'm out of here. I can't deal with this anymore.
And like we said, T, whatever else, conditions, situations, whatever else we talked about, instigation, just eliminate yourself from the whole situation. Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
If you know that shit's getting physical, guys, there's no excuse.
Don't even fucking stay.
Yeah, just get the fuck away.
It's not worth it.
And don't go back.
It's not worth it.
Because once it happens once, it'll continually happen again.
That's it.
And it always does. So just get the fuck away. Say, hey, you know what, man? It just didn't work out. Take care. Here's half the rent for this month, whatever else. And I'm out. Yeah, see you later. Peace out.
Deuces.
So let's go ahead and move on to let's start talking about some other stuff, man. How's some sports?
We got some sports coming up, man. We got a lot of shit going on, though. We only got two really big topics as far as sports, but man, that's a lot of shit.
Yeah, but fuck all that, dude. I'm going to talk about the NFL. NFL's popping right now. They got the mandatory mini camps.
Right.
I know I'm not going to really do much on it, but the other thing I wanted to touch on, T, was today the XFL had their combine.
Who the fuck cares?
Dude, I'm just telling you, that means off-season football next year.
Who the fuck
So next
cares?
February, there'll be some football, dog.
Who the fuck cares?
That would be me. And I'm excited. I'm not excited for the league, T. I'm excited the fact that after football ends, it's just not the end. There's something else there.
Yeah, I guess. But, I mean, it's to me, it's like the AAF or whatever the hell that thing was. It's the same thing, man. And it's only going to last a season. Maybe if it's lucky, it'll go a full season. Maybe it'll only last half a season like the AAF.
No, I agree. I think it'll just, probably be a flash in the pan, but another one will pop up and I'll be all right. So, yeah, I'm good. So, go ahead and get into the NBA, T.
But what we got is Lakers, man, getting AD. That's a big fucking deal.
Welcome to LA, Anthony Davis.
Well, I think he lives here, so he's already here. But yes, welcome. Welcome to the Lakers.
No, absolutely, man. Yeah, so I think, right away it just changes the whole complexion and landscape of the Western Conference.
Yeah, the Western dynamic has changed, especially with Clay being out for the year. Next year, you got KD being out for the whole year next year.
I don't think Clay's going to be out all year, bro.
Yeah, but
it's a 6th or 7th month injury. So remember, they're going to start like in September, October, something like that. So that's already 3. He's already had the surgery. So he's 3 months. Yeah, I mean, reality is...
It'll be towards the end of the year.
Yeah, and that's what I said. And they'll finish 7 or 8 or 6 or 7 or something, and they'll get in the playoffs, and he might be able to contribute.
Yeah, he might be back for then. For him, it's getting the conditioning, the strength and conditioning back going for him when he gets back. That's a big thing because once you have that type of shooting stroke, you're going to be fine. You're not going to be able to miss anything when it comes to that.
The reality is these guys nowadays with their surgeries will be running in 3 months.
Yeah.
The other 3 months is just strengthening.
True.
So that he doesn't pop it again.
Right, exactly, because that's a key. But I don't know, man. It does change the complexity. It does change a lot of things. But I got to say, man, I think Palinka may have fucked up a little bit on this thing.
Yeah, and everyone jumped all over him because of the salary cap thing and the money. But, I mean, the reality was, man, the thing is a little complex. And I was listening to a guy, T, on, I don't know if it's ESPN or something, maybe Stephen A. And the guy came out and said, look, guys, you can't blame him for that because there's lawyers that take care of that for the Lakers. It's not really Palinka's job to understand these intricate little moves that the lawyers advise him and tell him what to do.
Now, do you think, though, that a lot of that has to do with the fact that he's a little inexperienced? He's still, wet behind the ears as far as being a GM.
Well, I think that, to me, when I heard that, the first thing I thought of is still, again, what the fuck's going on with the Lakers? I mean, there's always some kind of dysfunction there.
There is.
And if the guy you got to understand the legality of the cap and all the things and manipulations you can make there doesn't do that for you, then what the fuck?
I mean, seriously, that's what it's like over there.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, and that's my point. I mean, these guys, they're supposed to have big money. They're supposed to have the best guys there. I don't think they could put that on Palinka. I really don't.
I think you do a little bit. If you have a guy like Jerry West in there, that shit doesn't happen. Guaranteed that shit doesn't happen.
I don't know about that, T, and that's the thing I was telling you about, because the mess up really isn't a mess up, because the reality is he did what he was supposed to do anyway at draft day yesterday.
Right.
He made another move.
He did.
And he freed up cap space.
He did.
So that was really what they were saying he didn't do. And they're saying sort of because it didn't get announced that there was no intention of it, so they thought he was an afterthought for him. But he did what he was supposed to do anyway.
Yeah.
What they said he didn't do right? I mean,
well,
he moved. Look at the guys he's trying to move, T. They're the last 3 guys on the bench. Who the fuck
really
wants
are.
them?
Yeah, they really
He
are.
wants to sign D-League guys, you know what I mean, to free up all this money.
Yeah.
And the reality is, we talk about he's freeing up money to try to sign another max guy. Well, to me, I mean, the reality is you only look at one guy.
Who's that?
Kawhi. And he ain't coming here. So fucking start filling out your roster with that other $30 million.
So you don't even look at Kyrie?
See, to me, I say no because I think he's, at this point of his life, he's a little bit more isolation player, and he wants to hold the ball more. And that's what fucked up Boston. That's why they had to take him off the point. Right? So when they bring him here, they're going to have him play the point.
Yeah.
And he holds the fucking ball.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. They took him off the point in the playoffs, and they started doing really well. So they have to get him off the ball, and that's what they're going to bring him in for here. So to me, I don't think it, and everyone says that they work good together, him and LeBron,
yeah.
Because it's not so much that they play good together, but what they're saying is LeBron trusts him. So LeBron can tell him, okay, Uncle Drew, you got the next 3 times up and down the court. I'm going to take a fucking break.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a breather.
Yeah.
He trusts him to get the result done.
Yeah, because he can.
And he's done it to him, for him, or with him.
Yeah, but AD can do the same. AD brings the same type of shit when it comes to being able to get shit done. And I think that's why LeBron wanted him so bad.
Well, it's not even that LeBron wanted him so bad. I think really the reality is LeBron has 2 years left. And he's not really going to play deep. I mean, remember, LeBron never went to college.
Right.
He was one of those guys straight from high school here, so add another 2-3 years. Yeah, he's got miles on him, bro.
He does.
So, I mean, he wants to end this thing good. He wants to be in good shape when he leaves and walks away. But he's going to be 40 soon. So, yeah, dude, he's got a couple years left. AD's the guy to take it past him. So that's the thing that's even more exciting to me is we have something now set up post-LeBron that will attract real talent here.
All right, so let me ask you, because you started to hit on it a little bit. What mindset are you? Even let's say you could get Kawhi. Do you get Kawhi or do you build a supporting cast?
No, I think at that point, if you can get Kawhi, you get Kawhi and deal with it. Because the talent level of Kawhi, and it'll probably cause some, I'm not going to say issue. I don't want to use the word issue. Maybe a little bit of dysfunction until they can figure it out offensively with those three guys.
Right.
Because the positions they play and really not one of them's handling the ball.
Yeah.
But I think that the talent level and what he is, you just say, fuck that. I'm going to deal with it and figure it out. And you figure out whoever the fuck else wants to play for you for minimum. And that's really it. And you pay the luxury tax.
So you're trying to model what they did in Miami.
Not
because
necessarily.
Miami did a lot. Yeah, that was a lot of what Miami was.
No, they were three guys, and the reality was at the point, these guys were good, but still the number one guy was LeBron. Here, the number one guy will be Kawhi, but
I'm not talking about semantics. You're arguing fucking semantics. I'm saying you have three guys.
I'm not arguing at all, asshole.
No, you have three guys. You just disagreed with me. I'm saying you got three guys, and then you build the rest with just like D-League kind of dudes.
Well, those guys on Miami weren't D-League dudes. They had Ray Allen. They had other guys too. But Ray Allen's the all-time best three-point shooter.
But they had guys past their prime that nobody else wanted.
I don't think that's really true. They had some really good players on their bench that played longer than that team was together. That went to other squads and did well. So I don't really think Miami was like that. I think that Miami sort of lucked into the salary thing with these guys, and they were able to afford better talent. The Lakers won't.
No, they can't.
Yeah, and that's
they can't afford the talent. Especially you got LeBron taking the max. But here's the thing.
Well, they'll all take the max.
Yeah, exactly. Now here's the thing. I've been hearing that the Lakers are interested in bringing back Brook Lopez.
Well, absolutely.
I don't think they should have let him walk in the first place. I think that was stupid.
Money he was asking for.
Yeah, that was stupid.
Yeah, but
that was the dumbest
they were
fucking
all
thing.
Fucked up.
And they're also looking at DeAndre Jordan.
See, they want to run, and they
do.
need a backup. So at this point, you're backing up AD.
Right.
So I don't think DeAndre Jordan, I think he's still too full of himself, and he's going to want to say, I'm a starter. So that's what I think about that. But I think Brook Lopez, he'll take a back seat. But at this point, man, to me, why even go there? You got AD in the middle, right? He's going to play the center for you.
He doesn't want to, I heard.
There's no choice. Whether he plays conventionally, he's playing the five.
Yeah.
Because you got Kuzma and LeBron. They're the other forwards. They're not guards. There's no backcourt right now.
Well, they were saying sliding LeBron to a guard. That's why.
You can't, T. He's just too big. He'll get run by. You know what I mean? These guys are too fast.
No, I'm just telling you what I've been hearing a lot.
Yeah, I haven't heard that. But his positions he's a 3 at best. He likes to play the 4 every once in a while. But remember, too, T, the NBA's positionless now.
Yeah, it really is.
Draymond Green's one of the best centers in the NBA, and he's 6'10".
Yeah.
So it's positionless. So AD can play that position. He's going to play that position. That's what he's there for. You just need to back him up with somebody. You already got JaVale McGee. You need fucking, 10 minutes a game? 2 minutes a quarter? Fucking send it. You know what I mean? That guy they were trying to make that guy a starter. He's not a fucking starter. He's a backup guy. Just let him be a backup for whatever couple $1,000,000 he is. You don't got to pay. You can't pay Brook Lopez because they need shooters. They got no shooters.
They need shooters. You're right. Now, here's a question for you. Do you bring back D'Angelo Russell? Because his name's being poked around all like crazy.
I think not for the money. Because he's going to be demanding a lot of money. He's into the second contract now. He's already been in the league. Did he get an All-Pro this year?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but
he tore it up for Brooklyn though.
I know he got an All-Star game, and he's going to be over 25 million,
right?
Or 20 to 25 million. That's too much for that guy. I mean, to me, I'm just saying,
if it was less money, would you do it?
To me, I tell you, no, probably not.
I still don't think I would because
I don't think I would either at all.
His history here.
Why fuck up the locker room?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
That's
Bringing
my
that
point.
shit in there. To me, get a Danny Green and one of these other guys run the point for you.
I think Danny Green's a good pick. He would be really good in that system.
I mean, just that type of guy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Exactly.
A couple $1 million a year. He's been in the playoffs. He's been there before. Trevor Ariza's out there right now.
Yeah,
get Trevor Ariza back.
Bring him back.
I know he's not in his prime, but you know what? He can do a lot of stuff. Guys like that, they got to be smart with their money. To me, I think the two guys is all they need. But like I said, if for some reason, and I keep hearing he's not even close, but if it's Kawhi, yeah, you buy him. You get him. You deal with it.
If anything, you can't let him go to the Clippers.
Yeah, I wouldn't even worry about that. I mean, because at that point when you say no, it's going to go to whoever. You know what I mean? So you can't get locked up and, I got to take him because he's going to go to the Clippers. My point is, if he wants to go to them, you got to say yes.
Yeah.
If he ever shows interest and says to the Lakers, look, guys, I'm going to give you first bid. You guys want to sign me? What do you guys offer me? Well, they can only offer him so much by the CBA.
Right.
So we're offering you the max money. Okay, I want to sign. Fuck yeah, send it. Come on. Right, we'll deal with everything else later. That's the only one to
fill out the rest of the roster somehow.
Yeah. And you're going to get these guys who are going to want to come and play for veteran minimum just because they know at this point now you're going to win a championship.
Yeah, you'll get guys that want to win.
Yeah, exactly, because they're at the tail end of their career, the guys, and then they get hooked up to that train, right? So, and that's what they're talking about too. What other big star is going to come? He's not hooking up to LeBron. He's hooking up to AD train.
AD.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a lot more attractive.
See, that's why I threw out the Kyrie thing, because supposedly Kyrie really wants to play with AD. Like Kyrie's like really harping on the fact that he wants to play with AD.
No, and I agree, and I think that see, I mean, I like Kyrie. I like Kyrie's game, but I just think for what you want to do and accomplish there, he's just too much of an isolation player.
He is.
And he just holds on to the ball too much, and he's not going to be the focal point. At best, he'll be second. No, probably all the time he'll be the third option.
He'll be third option.
Unless one of the guys isn't on the floor.
Right.
Then he'll be that option. But, I mean, other than that, if they're all on the floor, he's number 3. So I don't think he's going to want to do that.
I don't think the Lakers want that either.
I sort of think, that's funny you said that, though, and I think probably, I'm just telling what I would do. I think the Lakers are probably going to throw a bomb and probably try to get, what's the other guy from Charlotte? Kemba?
Oh, Kemba, yeah.
Oh, I think that's going to be the biggest mistake ever.
No, I wouldn't want Kemba on this team.
Why wouldn't you want Kemba?
The way he plays, everybody else would have to adjust their game too much. Kind of like what you were pointing out with, Bron and AD having to adjust if Kyrie came. So the same type of situation with the Kemba.
See, I think absolutely the opposite. I think his game sort of fits him better because he passes and distributes a lot more. But I think of this, T. He's a 28-year-old man.
Yeah.
Everywhere he's been, he's the man. Now you're going to go to a place to be third. He ain't going to deal with it.
Yeah, but he could be a Chris Bosh type of situation.
Yeah, but he doesn't have that mentality, bro. He wants to stay somewhere like Charlotte and be in
a big fish in a small pond.
Yeah. That's
Charlotte's not going to pay him.
They have to pay someone. They're going to pay him. They'll try to shave a couple million off. But they're going to have to pay him. Who else is going to come to their arena? Who's it going to come to see? This guy's an all-star for the last few years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the guy they're coming to see right now. So I think it's just a dysfunction over there in Charlotte, too. Michael Jordan, he's got to pull his head out of his ass at some point.
Well, he's a reverse of King Midas when it comes to basketball. Everything he touches turns to crap.
Dude, I mean, at least try to recruit some big fucking free agents, dog. I never hear about them,
Nothing.
Orlando.
They don't want to spend money.
They don't want to spend any money. It's like, fuck, dude, what do you expect to do? You just want to wallow.
Yeah.
They just want to wallow.
Well, he's still making money, so what the fuck does he care?
And the reality is, to me, fuck you, Stephen A. Smith, and your Knicks. You guys are a bunch of wallowers, too.
Oh, don't even get me started.
You know what I mean? Because,
bullshit.
that's the reality, dude. You got fucking plenty of money being in the big market, and you guys don't spend shit.
None.
You guys spend money on the stupid shit.
No, but...
So, you know what? Fuck that.
That's not even Stephen A., because he hates the fact that they are pulling that kind of crap.
Yeah, but that's my point, man, is these guys, all they talk about is, oh, you know, it's like bad luck. The Knicks never get the luck. They never do. No, they're fucking boneheads. They just got rid of fucking their best guy, the unicorn.
Yeah. There was an article that I saw, it was either yesterday or today, that, he's a really big prima donna, man. That guy's a real big prima donna.
I think it's just the thing I just talked about with Kemba. Everywhere this guy's went his whole life, he's the man on the team.
Right. And
now
he just can't deal with not being the man.
Correct. You know, he's going to go over to Dallas and Luka Doncic is there and everything else, but he's so young that he can
kind of bully his way.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to me, I just think that, hey, whatever. I'm excited. I'm excited the Lakers are back. We love LA. We're happy that these guys are finally seeming they're going to get back. I think no matter what happens from this point on, they're going to make the playoffs now.
Well, they'll still make the playoffs.
Yeah, so
we got
a
two
shot.
guys.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
But
you got to punch your shot.
Hey, what
right
about
there.
this though, T?
What's that?
You think Houston's going to make the playoffs next year?
All right, so I'm just going to tell you one thing about that, okay? Fuck you, okay? You talk a lot of shit, you throw a lot of fucking shade my way, and you're always putting me down saying, that's the media. You're listening to the media bullshit, blah, 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 blah. No, I'm just doing some research. I'm keeping my ear to the ground because I don't have any fucking NBA sources, right? But I do trust Woj. But I'm going to tell you something, man. I brought something up and you totally fucking dick slapped me and put me down because I was saying that there's some real shit going on between CP3 and James Harden. And what the fuck are you telling me? You're like, that's fucking bullshit. That's media bullshit, drama bullshit. Now what's going on, man? Now fucking CP3 is reportedly wants the fuck out.
That's what's going on, dude. Fuck these guys, dude. Okay, so T, I'm going to give you one. You got one. One out of how many?
Oh, fuck. I get a lot of them and you don't fucking give me credit for. I'm just kind of tired of fucking taking it.
Yeah, tired of taking it. But yeah, I mean, okay, but what did we say to even when we had the discussion, T? Ain't nobody going to take this fucking idiot's
No, nobody's going to
contract.
fucking take CP3's
He's a fucking
contract.
broken down old fucking piece of shit.
Fuck,
that
dude.
His agent is the man for getting in that contract.
Oh, yeah. I don't know who the fuck would take that contract other than Houston.
But here's the thing, man. That Harden was the one pushing for it, too.
He was. But
and
it was
now
a different time.
All of a sudden, they want to break up.
It's a different time, dude, and that's what happened. Didn't we just talk about relationships?
How tender.
Didn't we talk about fucking what's a deal breaker? Right? Didn't we just talk about this is a relationship too? Just as much as a regular, romantic relationship, this is a fucking relationship too.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I guarantee you they're not going to be doing any more commercials.
Oh, I bet you they will. They probably have a contract.
Farm?
Yeah.
Maybe, maybe not.
Yeah, they have that's the point. These guys can fucking cry all they want. They're fucking governed under contracts.
Well, and that's what we talked about on pre-show was the fact that, to your point, nobody's going to take CP3's contract. So all this drama, all this shit coming out, and he ain't going nowhere.
Well, okay, I got to say this.
Unless they cut him.
No, they won't cut him. They can't cut him because he's got guaranteed money.
They'll still, yeah.
You know what I mean? So they're not going to cut him and just waste that money against the cap. They're dead. They won't be able to do nothing. They just can't do that. The organization won't do that to appease Harden.
Right.
But here's the thing. If Harden starts fucking acting like a dick and says, hey, you know what, man? I am not fucking playing. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm not playing with this dude. Then they're going to have to make a decision. They're really going to have to make a decision, man.
They do.
So,
they need to make a big...
We're going to have to really follow this the next few weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, It's gonna be drama, dude. It's
my
already
opinion
started.
Is they're still gonna suck each other off and they're gonna be kissing each other
You
on
think
some
so?
state front. I think so.
You think they're gonna kiss and make up, man?
If they don't, okay. Here's the thing, though, T.
Yeah.
Chris Paul's been in the league for a long time. One of the reputations he has is he's very difficult.
Yeah.
I've listened to
Prima donna.
I listen to sports. Not prima donna.
I've heard that too.
It's not prima donna. What I've heard, and I heard it from Matt Barnes, who used to be on his team quite a bit.
Yeah.
And he said that this guy is 100% all about winning.
Yeah.
There's nothing else to him.
That's kind of funny for a guy that's never won anything.
The whole thing that he's misconstrued with is because his delivery is too rough. He never, I guess the word is, changes or adapts his delivery to different people. And sometimes it rubs guys wrong.
Right.
So Matt Barnes used to say, I was sort of like the mediator. I'd go in there and the guys in the locker room sort of talking shit. Chris would go talk to the coach. He's in there in the coach's room. And I'd be like, guys, he's right. He's just saying it and you guys aren't accepting it right. He should have said it probably like this. And then they say, oh, yeah, well, if he would have said it like that. Guys, he's not doing it to fucking belittle you. That's how it's coming out of him.
Right.
Because he's not fucking pulling no punches. He's just telling you how it is. And to me, when I heard that, the first thing I thought of was Kobe.
True.
Because that's how Kobe was.
That's how Kobe is.
But this guy's demanding that respect from people who aren't going to look at him like that.
Well, because he hasn't won anything the way Kobe has.
I don't think it's so much that he won anything, but it's because of all the issues he's had in places he's been. His reputation is he's just a dick.
Well, no, but...
And that's why guys sort of don't even... They're turned off to him as soon as he talks.
Okay, but wait a minute. I will give you some of that. But at the same time, you know and I know, what's the fucking cure for any stench? Fucking winning. Right? Winning will cure anything. It'll cover any fucking stench, right? It is a great deodorant. Michael Jordan was a dick. Everybody said that. Didn't he fucking punch Kerr in the face? He punched Steve Kerr and knocked him out.
Yeah, but a lot of guys punch a lot of guys.
No, but what I'm
going to throw
saying,
something
but-
right now
no, but
before
what
I
I'm
forget. No, you're going to fuck me up.
Fuck.
Did you know Byron Scott dropped Michael Thompson?
No, I didn't know that.
I'll tell you that story
All
after.
right, that's for another time. But anyway, but real quick, my point is Kobe backed it up because he fucking won. Because you knew that if you were on that team, the chances of you winning a championship because of this guy's drive was second to none, man.
Okay, but you're right. But think of
And
this
fucking
too, right?
Jordan was the same way.
But I think there were more down years for Kobe than Jordan. So
Oh, yeah.
even in those down years, he was starting to get that reputation of being a dick and too hard to practice with and all that shit. Remember that.
No, I know that.
You know, so it's sort of the perception.
It is.
And that's my point.
Perception becomes reality.
And not just that, but these guys are getting older and there's younger guys coming in the league. So it's very
their window
different.
is closing too.
No, I'm not saying about the window. I'm talking about the way that these guys handle discussion, handle authority talking to them, and these guys are acting as an authority figure. You know, these guys
What's
that are
the age difference between CP3 and Harden? Do you know?
I don't think it's not too much.
It's not a big. It's
no,
not
but
big.
what I'm talking about would be like CP3 and a rookie.
Yeah.
You know, you got 15 years there.
Yeah.
You know what I
It's
mean?
different.
So this guy's been around. He's sort of got to massage that situation a little bit more, take the guy under his wing kind of thing.
Right.
As opposed to just beating him down every day. And CP3, from what I hear and what I've heard a few times, and even from Matt Barnes, he really doesn't know how to do that. And that's his downfall. So whatever it is, he's got to straighten his shit
And
out.
he's a player rep too, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that means the players voted him in.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to me, I think that CP3's got to pull his head out of his ass and fucking figure out, dude, you're almost done. You better fucking hitch up to Harden and fucking do something right. Take a cut and pay, get some more players, because you ain't going to win a ring, motherfucker.
No, you're not.
You ain't. Not at this pace.
You got nobody on there other than you guys.
Yeah. I mean, that's the reality. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So, I mean, that's enough of that, T. And so I know you wanted to talk about the NBA draft, man. So go ahead and start it off.
Well, you know, what did we expect? You know, Zion went number 1. Everybody knew that was coming. And you know what? To be quite honest with you, King, you and I were talking about this, and you kind of hit the nail right on the head, man. Other than the first 3 guys, maybe first 2, that's your whole draft right there.
No, you're right. Yeah.
It's not like the NFL draft. You know, where the NFL draft, everybody's arguing who's going number 1 because you always got like 5 or 6 dudes that are genuinely can be number 1. Of course, you got the 1 or 2 that are clear-cut standouts, but you got other guys in the mix that everybody's fucking excited about. But in the NBA draft, there's really the one top guy, and that's it, and maybe 2 or 3 if you're lucky.
Well, I think in the NBA, there's usually 2 or 3 guys up on this elite level. And in a lot of cases in the NBA draft, they're all about the same. So it's sort of what flavor you want to pick.
Right.
And I'm just going to rebut you a little bit on the NFL. I think there's always for me, it's easier when there's a standout quarterback because they know the fucker's going 1. Especially if a dog shit team doesn't have a quarterback. You know what I mean? You know it. It's just the way it is, right? Like Kyler Murray this year.
If you have a standout quarterback, you're right.
No, if you don't have one.
Oh.
And there's a big-time guy coming out. So say the team's shitty. They have no quarterback. Because sometimes teams get shitty because the guy gets hurt.
Right. And
you know what I mean?
Yeah. And
so
it's
they
not
got
'cause
a
they're bad
quarterback.
team.
They don't want a quarterback. So just imagine, say Indianapolis. Remember a couple years ago, right?
Yeah.
They had a really good pick because Andrew Luck didn't play.
Right. Exactly.
And they're saying they were trying to tank, whatever else. But, I mean, think about that. Say if they would have ended up with the number 1 pick last year. They're not taking Kyler Murray.
No.
They got Andrew Luck.
They got Andrew Luck. Why would
so,
you?
yeah, it would change everything and fuck the whole thing up.
Yeah.
So that does happen once in a while. But you're right, T. For the most part, you know, the NFL draft is pretty much set up the first couple, 3 picks. But the NBA draft is only 2 or 3 picks deep.
That's
Other
it.
than that, it's guys that you hear about. And I'm not big into college basketball, T. I do watch some of March Madness, and I get into that.
Well,
but,
yeah, because you always
you can hear,
play the brackets. That's why we did our brackets.
Right,
remember?
exactly. But I watch the games too, so I hear their names called, and I remember that kid playing.
Yeah.
You know, or whatever else. And he was a big kid. You know what I mean? Or he looks like that guy from The Simpsons with all the hair. What's that guy? Fuck. Anyway, yeah.
Sideshow Bob.
Sideshow Bob. There's a guy that came out of fucking Gonzaga. Looks like a Sideshow Bob.
Did you see the dude with the fucking weird ass jacket?
I didn't watch any of the draft.
Dude,
I didn't see any highlights.
You got to Google that shit.
It doesn't do anything for me, the NBA draft, dog.
It doesn't do much for me.
You know,
either,
so yeah, I just really don't watch it. So to me, I mean, I can't even really
asked
touch
Dr.
on
X
it.
to put it on here, but it's not like I was, you know, hey, we got to talk about the draft. I just told him, hey, we'll touch on it.
I don't even want to say this, but I'm just going to throw it out there.
What's that?
Who the fuck went number 2?
Fuck if I know.
RJ Barrett went third to the Knicks.
Yeah, he went third.
So who the fuck went 2? Morant. Morant to Memphis. That's who did. Yeah. So, okay, I know the top 3 guys, right?
See? But that's the point. Like, fuck, man. NBA draft is not that exciting.
Well, then fuck the NBA draft.
They're trying.
Fuck the NBA draft.
But
Talk about something else.
Well, hold on real fast. I did start to watch it. You know, I was like a little bit of the pre-show and then the beginning of the fucking draft. They were trying to do it up like the NFL draft. They were trying to do it big. They were trying to, you know, kind of make it hip and everything the way the NFL draft is. And I got that vibe a little bit that they were really trying to do something like the NFL draft and do it up.
They've been doing that the last few years, but the reality is they just don't have the viewership or the following.
Yeah.
I mean, you get 500,000 people at the draft for the NFL.
I mean, fuck,
you know what
right?
I mean? So
that's like when we talked about the MLB draft the other day. Remember when we were talking about that a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
Do you know anybody that got drafted there?
No.
None.
Nope.
And it's what, 40 rounds?
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
So, hey, man, why don't you talk a little about some MLB, man? Some shit went down, dude.
I was. So, your boy over there, because you're a big Boston fan. Anyway, your boy Big Papi, dude, he got shot. Did you hear about that shit? This guy fucking he was over there in the Dominican, and next thing you know, he's fucking shot in the back. Now, they caught 11 dudes so far. There's still 3 more on the run. That includes the guy that put the hit out on him. But nobody was really talking about why he got shot. Everybody just said that he got shot. Now, he had a surgery in Boston, and then I guess 2 or 3 more, a surgery in the Dominican. Then they flew him to Boston, and he had like 2 or 3 more surgeries since then, right? I think.
Yeah, I know he had a couple.
Yeah.
And I think, too, he was in critical condition for a while.
Now
he's okay.
Yeah, he's okay. They're saying that he's going to be
man,
okay.
I'm a Big Papi fan. I like Big Papi.
No, he played the game right. I liked him a lot.
I mean? Yeah, and not even that, just as a person. He did a lot of shit in the community. He did a lot of stuff for kids.
He does.
You know, so, I mean, the only thing I'm thinking, though, T, right, is, yeah, you're right. They're saying it was, and now they're saying, right, it's shaking out a little bit, like someone put a hit on him.
There was a hit. We found out how much.
Right?
But we found out how much. It was for just over $7,000 US.
Right. I mean, in a third world country,
that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
But even divvied up with like 12, 13 guys.
Still probably a lot of money.
That's still a lot of money.
So, but he wasn't the intended target.
He wasn't. But he was dressed similar to the guy that he was with. And the guy that he was with was the intended target.
All right. So that's my point.
You know,
he's with somebody who has a contract put out on him. No matter how you shake it, that dude's doing something a little fucked up.
Well,
I mean, you could say whatever you want. Yeah, the guy who put the hit on was his cousin, was this and that, and was in a cartel. But you know what? You just don't put hits on people because they fart or they fucking sneezed.
Well, hold on. Because what I heard about that was he put a hit on him because several years earlier, the guy ratted him out. And that's why he went to jail. See, he ratted out his cousin and said, listen, I'll tell you whatever you want to know about this guy. I'm not going to cover for him. So, you know, it's one of those things.
Well,
maybe he wasn't involved in that shit and he didn't want anything to do with it.
No, you're right. But okay, you can't be stupid enough not to know if this guy's getting out, something's going to happen.
Well, yeah.
I'm surprised. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm surprised.
And if I'm Big Papi And I know this guy ratted out his fucking cousin or whatever else who's in the cartel getting out of jail soon. Dude, don't come around me.
I doubt he knew.
Well, and that,
I mean,
and
you
to
may
me,
not
that's
know that shit.
Well, then that's a problem on Big Papi because you know what? He's a figure.
He is
and
a figure.
He sort of has to do better than that with the people he's hanging around with.
True.
So to me, that's a little bit on both of those guys.
I'm just
glad he's not. Nothing happened fatally.
Yes.
I'm glad he's good. I'm glad everything's okay.
I was just kind of bummed out to hear though that something happened to him. You sent me a text because I wasn't paying attention right away when it happened. The breaking news. You took a screenshot and sent it to me right away, and I was like, "What the fuck? This is crazy." You know?
No, exactly.
And my first thing was, okay, what the fuck was he involved with?
My first thought was he was getting robbed.
See, I thought he was involved with something
because they said he was shot in the Dominican Republic.
Right. Well, that's true, and that's definitely a big deal right there. So I don't know. I'm just glad, like you said, I'm just glad he's okay. I'm glad he's gonna be okay because to your point, he's fucking great in the community. He's great for a lot of people, despite the fact that he's a fucking Green Bay Packer fan. I'm not gonna hold that too much against him, but I'm just gonna say, fucking Big Papi, speedy recovery, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Big Papi, we're thinking about you, big dog. Get well soon. Man, we love you. I'm even gonna tell you I love you and I hate baseball. But hey, I gotta give a shout out, dog.
What to who?
Yeah, man. You know who I only give shout outs to here at TM Baseball is my boy Nick and Jack. He's starting AAA All-Stars this weekend. Kick some ass, Jack. Take care of that shit.
Yeah, you better fucking handle that.
Man, I think he's gonna do good, man. I like him. He's a lefty, bro, and they should be pitching that fucking kid.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he just had a tough year, man. Look at his dad's the coach.
Well, yeah, Dad's gonna be, come on, man.
No, but I'm saying that's why he was fucked up during the year. Now he's on the All-Star squad. Dad's not the coach.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because Dad messes with his head. Don't bring shame on family.
No, just do good, big dog, man. And let me know how you do. Tell your dad to let me know, and I'll put it out here, man.
Nice.
All right. So, hey, you know what? I'm going to talk a little bit more about some MLB, dog.
All right.
I'm going to talk about this Manny Machado thing real quick. Oh, did you hear about that shit that happened?
Yeah, man.
All right.
That's some crazy stuff.
Just to fucking wrap it a little bit and wrap the package here. Manny Machado got suspended.
He did.
He bumped an umpire.
It was barely a bump,
right?
Man.
No,
it really wasn't.
I know, but he bumped him.
He did.
But now, a couple of the umpires in the union, who the umpires union has a Twitter account or something, they tweeted that they felt this needed to be handled more severely because they felt it was workplace violence. What do you think about that, Doug?
Okay, so we really haven't said this term on the show, but privately we say this a lot. But those guys need to get the sand out of their vagina.
Right? I mean,
that is not workplace violence.
This is a game, guys.
It's
do you
remember growing up back in the day in the 80s, man? Dodger fan. And what did we always see? We always saw Tommy Lasorda with this big fucking belly.
Spitting all over these guys.
Yeah.
Because he had this big thing of chaw in his mouth.
Bouncing on them. Dude,
yeah,
he
bouncing
fucking,
on
boom.
him, kicking him, fucking kicking dirt, kicking him in the shin and shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that workplace violence? To me, that was part of the game.
It is part of the game.
And I know the game's evolved, and I know everything evolves like that, okay? And we're in a different time and a different era. But come on, man. If you barely get bumped, how in the hell is that workplace violence?
To me, I don't think it is. And I'm just going to wrap this story up by saying this, T. I think that's why they want to replace him with robots. All right? I'm going to throw one more thing out, MLB. I'm going to give hats off to the Dodgers, man. They're 26 games over 500.
It's fucking sick.
Dude, okay, I'm going to say this. And, now I'm starting to watch some baseball because there's nothing else on.
Yeah.
Dude.
You're desperate.
Yeah, exactly. I need a fix, dude. Yeah. And I got lucky, dude. I changed my cable carrier a few months ago. And I just did it for Spectrum because I had something in the dead time.
Right.
And I get Dodger games now. So I got to say this. They've won 5 or 6 National League West in a row, right?
6.
This is the best team they've ever had. And I truly believe this is their championship year.
They're the deepest, that's for sure.
No, dude, I'm going to tell you why I think they're the best. And I know it sucks because I was a big fan of his. It's because they got the fucking cancer out of the clubhouse.
Puig.
Yep.
I told you that a long time ago. I told you that about 2 years ago.
We both knew it. Look at all the things that he was going through, what was happening, he's a constant distraction. But it's just who he was and how he was built. He wasn't trying to fucking do it on purpose to people.
No, that's just the kind of
It's
guy
just
he
the kind
was.
of guy he was. And
Yeah.
it just sort of, these guys want to be more, they're saying the clubhouse now is just all about work.
Yeah.
And getting the work done.
Instead of playing.
Yeah, and no one's fucking around in there.
Yeah.
These guys are on a mission. 26 games over 500, dog.
Sick.
Dude, okay, here's the thing, right? I was just looking at the, reading some of the stats and stuff of the standings. San Diego just finished their last 10 games 7-3. Colorado just finished their last 8 games 7-1. Colorado's still 11 games behind the Dodgers, dude. I mean, fuck, right?
Dude, and they swept Philly. When Philly came into Dodger Stadium, they fucking swept them, dude.
I mean, I'm just saying, dude. I mean, and not just that, but then they were saying, I was listening to the pregame of the Dodgers driving out here today, and they were saying, basically the Dodgers don't have a meaningful series until mid-October. So that basically means they're going to be pummeling all the bottom feeders in the National League West and the National League.
Yeah.
So, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So, fuck, dude.
I mean,
these guys are going to have a sick record, dude.
they are. It's going to be disgustingly sick. Now, Bellinger kind of messed up the shoulder, and he was on a big pace for hitting tons of home runs, but he's still fucking top of the home run mark, not just in the NL, but in the whole Major League Baseball.
Oh,
So-
he's definitely on a MVP run.
Oh,
I think,
dude,
this
he's
year.
having a sick year, even with messing up his shoulder. And now his shoulder's starting to heal again.
Well,
'cause
remember,
he dislocated it.
162 games. Even MVPs can miss 15 or 20 in MLB.
He only missed one.
No, but I know, but that's my point. Even if you have an injury in the MLB, you still have 140 games to show them. You
Right.
know what I mean? It's not like NFL, you miss a quarter of your season, you're done.
Yeah,
Or Kawhi rested 20 games, he's not in the MVP.
right.
You know
exactly.
what I'm saying? In this thing, you could fucking miss a quarter of your games and still be in the MVP talk.
Yeah.
So,
So-
I mean, and the other thing too is, you know what? I just look at the Dodgers pitching. I look at Kershaw's. He's pitching his ass off, and I love Kershaw.
Rubber arm?
No, it's not rubber arm T. They fucking blew it out. He's been pitching for 10 years for us, bro.
No, he has.
you know what I mean? But now what
his
he's doing,
fastball isn't that fast anymore. But
he's pitching now.
Yeah, no, his,
And he's
his cutter, everything.
It's not just
great.
that. He's still that force on the team, and he's got these guys thinking every time he's on the mound, they're still going to win. And I didn't think that was going to happen anymore.
Right.
But he's done it again this year. And then you got Walker Buehler, the kid, 7-1 this year. No one's even talking about him. He's lost one fucking game. He has like 4 or 5 no decisions, which means he's either tying or leading when he left, and they lost or lost the lead.
Yep.
Come on, man. So, what else we got now, T?
That's it. That's it,
All
King.
right,
This
man.
is us
So-
for today, man. This is good.
All right.
We're wrapping it up, man. So that's our show. Everybody, thank you so much for hanging in there. We really appreciate it. I know King and I both love the fact that you stick it out and you guys really, really give us a lot of feedback. And you guys are the reason why we're doing this. And we love it.
No, absolutely. And remember to visit our website, thedoubleshow.com.
Wait a minute. You didn't say it right.
I'm not going to say it no more.
Come
man.
on,
I have
say it.
No, because I started listening to the show last week. I didn't like
Say
the way you
it.
called me out. www.thedoubleshow.com. That's the letter I, guys. Don't forget about our Patreon.
www. Or how do you say it? www.
Yeah.
Is that how you do it?
Yeah, man.
All right. Well, I'll do it my way.
Well, I'm smiling right now because you didn't do triple dub shit.
That's why I said I'm going to do it my way.
No.
www.patreon.com/the Double I Show.
Again, thanks everybody for listening, sticking around. We want to say thanks. We had a lot of good stuff going on today. Next show, we're going to talk about our sweatshirt giveaway or hoodie giveaway.
Yep.
We want to say thanks everybody. Sign up on that Patreon. Make sure you guys do that. Ladies, again, I want to say thank you to listening. I'm just hoping one of those ladies hears me listen to the show, dude.
Which one?
Any of them.
Oh, wait. You want them to be able to recognize you the way that Tim did?
Yeah.
Anyway, shout out to Tim and his brother again.
Yeah, shout out to him.
Hey,
Dude,
Tim, just so you know, man, you can start stalking this guy if you want.
I told him I go to the liquor store 3-4 times a week.
What if you got a stalker situation there, King?
Okay, Tim, I'm giving you a heads up right now. Remember the thing on mass shootings? I am a gun owner. So just be careful, Tim. All right? So
Wait,
take it into your
You
own hands.
carry?
Maybe.
Maybe.
All right, yeah, I do.
All right.
All right, how
Well,
about
fuck
that?
Tim. Beware.
No, hey, come on.
He's
Yeah.
a puppy dog
No,
anyway.
absolutely, man. But hey, thanks everybody for listening. Thanks for everybody for sticking around, listening to us any means you do. Make sure you, like we said, visit our website. And again, T, which is things just growing. We just want to say keep spreading the word.
Yep.
If
Just appreciate everybody for everything you guys are doing.
absolutely, man. And just follow this experience, guys, and let us know what you want. So hit us back on our website, but we're going to go ahead and roll on out of here. I am R.W.King for Sweet Tea. This is
Incoherent Idiocy.
We Are
Out.
From California.
Check it in from the left coast where we take sound that combines sunshine with rhyme, move 'em around. Take it slow, watch the smoke we blow. Bring California swing and this thing for show. Well, hey there, baby doll, dance the go-go. Off a little mentally, I see it in slow-mo. Hollywood, the east side, hub city, and Frisco. Fires with the flyers, fires up in the disco.